We've got a new guest in the studio. He's coming with the goodies, man. Look at that. Look at that. Look at what I'm holding. Like that. Charles Kimari is from Samsung Electronics East Africa. He is the director for mobile experience. He's here to tell us about the gadgets that he's come with this time. But City.
Yes, please.
I will just give him the proverb. And then we start the conversation.
The proverb from Namibia or the Samsung proverb?
The Samsung proverb from Namibia.
The hunter in pursuit of a lion does not stop to throw stones at birds.
The hunter in pursuit of a lion does not stop to throw stones at birds. Charles Kimari, Happy New Year.
To you too.
It's been a while, man.
When was this?
Last
September?
year. It was last year.
August, September.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
When brought in the fold and the flips.
Yes.
Yes, right.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
Having been born then, now would be eating solids.
So we were chasing the lion, as City say. We focused on the lion. We didn't throw stones at the birds. That's why we're back again.
Fantastic. And you got the lion.
Nabbed it nice.
This is it.
You're holding it.
Okay.
Right.
Samsung Electronics has a new era of the Galaxy. So what phone am I holding?
Oof. That is the new S23 Galaxy series. Unpacked on Wednesday globally from San Francisco. In actually over 50 countries, over 120 countries globally. Unpacked on the same day from 9 p.m. In Kenya, we did it at Sarit.
Right. It was live on KTN actually as well.
Correct.
Got in right in the middle of both KTN News and KTN Home. It was live and I watched a bit of it. And that's before I went to sleep. So I saw something about
So
it.
you went dreaming of it.
Yes. And now here I am. It's called manifesting, my brother and my sister.
Okay.
Manifesting. So this is
That's
Samsung
the
S23
Ultra. Yes, that's the plus, and that's the base model.
So CT has the base model.
Correct.
Just look at the base, CT. That's the base model. It's nice.
Handles nicely.
It's the smallest of their category. Nice, small, and chic.
Okay.
Ultra is the
Miske, you're chic.
largest.
That's the one with the turbo.
That's the turbo, yeah.
It's a turbo.
Correct.
And then this is the SD. This is 4K.
The plus,
This is HD. This is SD. Okay.
This is 2000 cc.
3,200.
8,000 cc.
This is 8,000. Tell us about them then.
Good. One thing that's clear that we were very keen on when we were bringing out the 23 series was a lot of feedback and a lot of study upon the clients. Mind you, S series is the fastest and the best ever performing category of the flagship devices ever in the Samsung Galaxy family. So this range of the three devices is really critical for us to get it right. And this time round, we just didn't want to get it right in terms of only products, but localizing it at home, we wanted to make the product affordable.
Right.
Bring different platforms that allows not just the do's of this country to enjoy the flagship devices, but also to take it much lower for other people to afford these devices. So we've created a whole panel of acquisitions, payment platforms, partnerships that will allow consumers to afford this device.
Yeah.
Just like that.
I remember last time you talked about that and said, look, okay, in the coming months, we'll be able to have and imagine and actually establish ways in which people across social strata then can enjoy the technology that is Samsung in terms of what it's been able to. So how is that now being brought? Just based on what you're saying now, that even with the upgraded S series, that people across then would be able to afford it. Platforms, pick now, pay over time kind of thing. And you said something like that could be imagined in the future. Is that here now? Is the future here?
And no, I'm quite happy that you tracked that conversation that we had, and we came through with it on this particular time. At that time, we've been working very strongly with partners, especially at the entry-level devices. That is the A series. We've partnered strongly with Watu Financing, M-Copper, Sun King, and these enable affordability of devices at the entry level from the A03 core all the way up to the A53. So, hii ni malipo ya pole pole. But then we sat back and said, what about our flagship people, our customers? There are those teams in the A73, A53 middle level category that want to enjoy the flagship devices. That's when now we have developed the first initiative partnership with Safaricom to have a first post-pay ever in the country for flagship devices.
How will this work?
And this is amazing because you'll just require to walk into the Safaricom store from anywhere around the 15th, and you'll be able to pay a deposit. For the Ultra, you'll pay at least 60,000 shillings. And then they will give you resources on it, that is talk time and data for SMSs. And to make it fantastic, Samsung will add on 10 GB for every device for every month for 12 months.
10 GB per month for 12 months.
Yes. So every customer of our S23 series, Ultra, Plus, and Base will get 10 GB every month for 12 months.
Okay, let's go back.
Right.
Okay. So I walk into Safaricom. With 60 Gs, I can get this S23 Ultra.
Right.
This one that I'm holding.
Right.
Okay. And all I need to do is first pay a deposit of 60,000 shillings.
Right.
What's the payment plan? Is it a year, 2 years?
For the different units, for the Ultra, they have a payment plan of around 24 months on it. For the Plus, for the base model, you pay 20,000 shillings, and you have a payment plan for 18 months on the same. And at the same time, they give you resources, the talk time and the text messaging on the same.
I need to ask. So, when you pay this deposit and when you get these accompanying resources, are you saying you pay the deposit and you're given the device?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you thought you pay and you go away.
You go until mpaka pesa ijae. That's when you pick the phone.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And when I was hearing 10 GB and the other GBs, I was thinking, they tell you, okay, what phone do you currently have? Okay, we are giving
We
10
send you 10
GB
GB to
on
your current phone.
But we endelea to kulipa,
Alright.
continue paying. So essentially, it is...
They've actually done a fantastic job because you get 2,500 minutes per month, every month renewal.
Every month for
and
the 24 months.
5,000 SMSs every month addition on the same.
How many thousand of SMS?
5,000 SMSs on the
How
same.
on earth are you going to SMS 5,000 times?
Depends on who you are.
You know, I'm just thinking aloud.
The people who actually do it.
Right.
So for the base, you say the base you walk in 30,000 bob, 20,000 bob for 18 months.
Right.
But is it 20? Shall you be doing 20,000 per month for
No,
the 18 months?
it will be 10,
the 20,000 is the upfront.
Right.
And then after that, 10 Gs, every month for the next 18 months.
Correct.
But you also get 10 GB every month from Samsung
For 12 months.
for 12 months. And you get the airtime and talk time and SMS
2,500, then 5,000 SMS. And
Every month.
I was listening to this thing carefully. Very carefully.
And within the next, if you'd like to upgrade within that period of 18 months, so maybe you want to move from the base to the plus, can you have a conversation with them? You still haven't finished paying,
Right.
but you're thinking, well, yeah, you've come across something. There's like a deal kameivana. And
Can you trade in?
So can you just now say, take the base, give me the plus, tell me how much more I need to pay?
It's work in progress because this is the first time we are actually taking this to the market.
Yeah.
Additions to this particular project will be ongoing, and I will be able to keep the because this is a partnership between Samsung and Safaricom
Yeah.
to try and make it work, because the end goal I think the aspirations of putting devices within the reach of the consumer we are aligned on that part.
Yeah.
So we are working together to try as much as possible to make the proposals as rich as possible. But not just that in terms of making the product available to the consumers using the MNO. We've also partnered with KCB. And KCB is allowing you to actually run your credit card, at any of the authorized Samsung retail stores, and you are able to enjoy a 6 months interest-free rate on the same. So it's more like a 6-month plan of how to pay your product by just running your
And
card.
this is for any of the Samsung devices, mobile devices.
S-series.
It's just
devices.
the S-series.
S-series. This S23.
Okay.
And all these offers are basically valid during the pre-order, apart from the Safaricom one that will be ongoing. So all these offers, we are making them because, as you all know, that whenever we launch a flagship device, we have a pre-order period. This one is started from 2nd, running all the way up to 28th
Of February.
And during this particular period, we normally appreciate all our first-to-book customers very strongly, because this is the biggest success rate of our portfolio in terms of launching it to the market.
Yeah.
So it will run through that period, and in addition to that, we are throwing in quite a bit of value on the pre-order consumers, because for those dates only, for the 512 GB memory on the Ultra, this applies on the Ultra, you'll be able to get it at a price of 256 GB, meaning you'll get double memory extra during the pre-order. You'll get a higher memory device during the pre-order period on that. And the S23 and S23 Plus will be giving a free silicone, elegant, chic cover that goes with it on the same, in addition to these other resources and acquisition measures that we have put.
In the world of smartphone tech, obviously, folks who then are buying a smartphone today, there's certain things they're looking for, apart from just, picking up the phone, receiving a call, or sending one of the 5,000 SMSs. So what then is up in terms of tech in this series, in terms of now what you can use? I tried to take a picture, and I must say the camera is fantastic. But, what's up for grabs here?
You nailed it. You nailed it on that. And I'm glad that it's coming from you, not from my side. The camera is one of the things that we tried to enhance and push on this. Let me put it this way. The entire Unpacked show that was held in San Francisco for the S23 was shot with the S23 Ultra from beginning to end on the same. The S23 Ultra has been used in the last 1 month by 3 directors, one of them who shot the Gladiator movie, to actually shoot 3 movies, which should be coming out towards the end of Feb and early March on the same. Where am I going with this? We are talking about experiences. We are talking about people's passion. We are talking about creativity. We are talking about content. And the camera is the focal part of all those indications. So the enhancement of this camera, the S23 comes with a full 200 megapixel.
How many cameras are here, Charles? I'm looking at very many gadgets at the front here. How many things are these?
3 and 2.
So these are 3
correct
cameras,
right?
And then these are
they're 2 they're for focusing.
So
on
these
the
2,
light.
there's 2 smaller ones are for focusing,
right?
And then these are 3
correct
camera,
right?
Why?
The more you enhance a camera, it comes with a very enhanced stabilizer. When you move around, you see a photo shaking a lot.
Yes.
Amazingly, S23 Ultra has one of the best stabilizers that reduces the shaking. When you have the zoom level of the phone, of the camera is important. A camera's zoom is very important.
Yes.
It enables you to get the wider ranges.
Yes.
It enables you to transfer images in terms of readjustment of when you're taking the photo, and all that is enhanced within the
and it allows you to also capture the detail.
Correct.
I'm zooming in into you now, and I'm taking the photo.
Fantastic.
And yeah, I mean, Edna, you can zoom in to this with your camera. If Edna, you can get. You see, you Edna can't. But it is yes. Brilliant in terms of advancements in technology, in camera technology, because nowadays phones are not just for calling. Phones are for documenting your experiences, like you said. That's what we do with phones nowadays. You want to make sure that you are able to capture everything that's happening around you. You're able to, you see something, you take a photo, you take a video, you meet with friends, and you want to document that. You want to keep it for memory, so you take a good photo. And then sometimes you also want to like capture an experience to share with others. And you do not want that to be in some grainy image.
Yes.
You want it to be in good quality image, because, I mean, we are all advanced now. So the advancements on camera are things that I'm sure people will always ask you, so what's the difference between this new camera and the previous camera? And it's one of the things that you'll talk about constantly with Samsung.
Correct. The improvement is quite significant on the same. This is almost up to 200. It's 200 megapixel. The previous one was giving us almost 100 times zoom on the same. But now, when we look at it on a very practical basis, with this phone, the Ultra, the image you take on a 200 Pro, there's a Pro section, you can move it to Pro photography. The print is enough to take straight to billboard production. You don't need to go through the production process.
What?
Your photo straight to the billboard on the same. It's on a basic level just to understand the impact and the power of that camera on the same. So it's not just a tool for your usual calling or your usual selfies. It's also a business tool. All your reporters, when they're going to the field, why do I need to carry a bulky $4,000 camera when I can carry a 200K device that acts as everything from my phone to my office to my studio? It has a pen. You can actually do your notes, file your notes, and file in on the report.
I almost hear you saying, Charles, that, you know, Samsung and this technology is almost becoming a development partner across circles. We're in the era of, you know, influencers for product, and the visual is very important when it comes to that. Journalists having to be on the go many times, and you can basically have your tools in your pocket. People who have to record information for certain things, whether it's in the medical field. Is Samsung seeing itself becoming a partner for development? Or already one?
Let me put it this way. The latter is the answer. We already won. We already transformed ourselves into getting into the ecosystem that enables businesses to function and go across the board. Look at it this way. Previously, we had the Note, right? Now we have added the S Pen to the S series for the Note consumers to get the full experience that they were getting before. And we realized, especially with the S Pen, we drove a lot of entrepreneurship within a lot of businessmen tend to use the Note. You do your notes, convert them to Word, send them. Architect picks out a map, highlights the area to his fundis where they're supposed to change, puts comments, change this quotation. Send it. Instant, immediate, speed. Business is about speed now. Look at the content creators. They're able to do quite a bit of stuff. One of the previous musicians shot his whole video in Kenya with the S22. It's a lifestyle and it's business at the same time. So it's no longer a gadget that rings. It's creating an ecosystem that is going to be galvanized together as business and as leisure at the same time. So yes, we are in the business part of the operation, yes.
You know, every time I listen to the conversation about not just the S-Class, but the Samsung products, what I realize is I actually don't use a phone very well.
You don't maximize the potential.
No. You know, maximizing now is taking the entirety of the capacity of the phone into consideration. Because beyond calling, sending an SMS, sending M-Pesa, and taking a few pictures every now and then. And yet, you see, I was busy looking. scrolling and looking at what this phone that I have before me has. There are so many things that this phone can actually do for you. So many. It's actually shocking. But then you also produce tablets.
Yes.
Yeah, CT won't let us get over the Samsung tablets. God, yes.
That gadget or something else, man. The things that thing can do for you. See? Where I'm going with this is these gadgets can complement each other. As I've learned, they can even speak to each other in the language that these gadgets have. How then do these gadgets promote each other? Because same enterprise, same organization, different products, and some of the functions are complementary. One has this function, the other one has, because the tablet that I speak of also had an S Pen.
Don't castigate City. He's with it. He's with it. He's with it. He's with it.
It's switched on.
Actually, he's talking about the future of technology in a different form. Don't look at him badly, but in a different form. The S23 comes with just like any other, almost all our devices, Smart Things function. Smart Things allows connectivity and to almost all our gadgets, to the tablet, to the consumer electronics devices, TV, to the refrigerator, to that washing machine. So you create a whole ecosystem around things that enable reach and communication with other devices. It's going to expand strongly to include alarm on the house, alarm in the house. Even to some extent, it's gone up to used to operate a car. So it's a whole ecosystem that's being created. And as he has approached it from the tablet side, it's part of the product that is within that whole ecosystem. So you may be at a different location and you have your tablet, but you're able to access your messages on the same. You're able to access your call logs or the other. You might be on the other side and sending instructions to your house, to your fridge, to check what's available inside your fridge as you're leaving the office to go home so that you pass by the supermarket. Then you're able to do your whole smart operation properly. So yes, Smart Things is being enhanced and the technology is actually expanding to be able to create a better and a more robust ecosystem. In certain markets, it's developed a lot. And hence, with the development of and advancement of 5G, this is going to be a reality in a very short time. Correct.
You know what concerns me? Do I have a minute?
No, you don't.
Okay, then.
No, you can say. Tell us what concerns you.
You see, what
It's
concerns
important
me
to hear
is-
this.
Yes, I have come across some really funky Samsung cameras. I like cameras. So I'm wondering now if I have this phone. So my love for the camera and my interest in the camera seems to be competing with this gadget that does many things that the camera doesn't do. So now, from Samsung's perspective, this complementarity that I was speaking of, and the competitive nature of these
Gadgets.
the delightful gadgets. For a consumer, how do I balance my interest? Because my own interest seems to be in competition here. I want the camera, but then there's this phone that does what the camera can do, and at some level it does more than what the camera can do. And yet, some of these cameras are also smart cameras. That's the other thing about it. Yes, they are.
Yes.
Yes, so...
Charles.
Now, the wearer of the shoe knows where it pains most, right? When you pick a camera, a device, and you make a choice between you want a bulky, big item to carry around, or you want a smart, small, sleek, chic thing that can be your phone, your
That
camera.
contains the bulky thing.
That
in
contains
small-
the bulky thing into this one small chic thing. I think the decision maker will make a very obvious decision on that. And that's why you find where technology is going is about its enhancement and convenience, speed, and innovation. So if those three factors are not in a certain pipeline, then you'll be put aside. You'll have to step aside. Things are moving very fast. Look at the young generation. What are they looking for? They don't want all these maddening big things. That they just want one small, nice thing that can do everything conveniently for them. In a few years, you and me will be looking at the gadgets in a different way. In those few years, the Gen Zs and the upcoming gens will be looking at technology in another
Completely different way.
Exactly.
There'll be AI in their thoughts.
Correct. Our older generation looked at it in a very different way. They needed a camera, they needed to produce, they needed to visit the studio.
Yeah.
And they needed to do all that.
I needed to call Kenya Post and Telecommunications to connect them their phone.
Right.
Let's take a break. Charles Kimari is the director, Mobile Experience Division at Samsung Electronics East Africa. He's here today to introduce us to the new Samsung Galaxy S23. I'm holding the S23 Ultra, and Ndu is holding the S23 Plus, and CT is holding the S23 Base. And they are wonderful gadgets.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Charles Kimari, the Director, Mobile Experience Division at Samsung Electronics East Africa, is here with us introducing the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra Plus and Base in the studio. How much is this going for, the Ultra?
The Ultra 512 version, 512 GB,
Yep.
is going for 209,999. The 256 GB is going for 195,999. And the Plus, S23 Plus is going for 154,999. And the base model is going for 135,999. Correct.
Is that before or after discount?
So what we have done is we have played around and toyed around with our dealers and distributors, and they have been able to come up with the proper pricing for this product. But most important about this is the value adds that come with it. If you go to any store today and buy any of these devices between or pre-order 2nd to 28th, you will get 10 GB every month for 12 months on it. Right? So rather than discount, give the person real value. If you go to the store 2nd to 28th of this month, you will get the price of 512 GB at the price of 256 GB for the Ultra. And for the S23 Plus and the other, you'll get an additional silicone cover to be given with this device during the pre-order period.
So the market, how does the market respond to, one, the price points, and two, how fast Samsung develops the next, in the series? So I've bought this for 209. Let's say I've taken the 512 GB.
Right.
So I buy it for 209,999. Okay. Within how long will I be looking at somebody else having the better phone, and yet I have spent 210 Gs on this?
Okay. Samsung releases flagships 2 times a year. The S series in February and the Fold and Flip in August. So, and this is on an annual basis. There's always a risk of skipping a year because technology will overtake you. You need to share with consumers the best in technology as at when it's developed and comes out. So, in terms of the other variances, are we really targeting the S22? Consumers have different trends. We have the trendy techs. Trendy techs will change year-on-year version. S22 to S23. Every year they'll change their. S series has a very solid base of ardent fans on it. Those will change on the trend part. The next category of people will be the target of the S21s and below. The previous models that were there. So even the S21s and the S20s and the A53s and 73s that want to upgrade to the S series get to enjoy the release of the technology. So we don't have a conflict with our consumer in terms of providing a product if you bought it in the previous year, because in the coming year there's always room for advancement of
For
the same.
upgrading.
Correct, upgrading.
Okay. Why the pre-order period?
Pre-order period, in this period we don't have stocks in the market. They're not here yet.
Okay.
They were released from factories as of yesterday. The consignment for Kenya and East Africa was shipped out. Expected to arrive in the market in another 1 week, 10 days on the same. So why the pre-order period? This is the early bird period whereby we have good offerings. We give some good offerings to our customers who pre-order the product. And this is normally done through our authorized stores, authorized operators, our SCSs, experience stores. This is the period when you go to the store and you start experiencing the product. We have a lot of display kits that show what is this product that you're buying. Anybody who places their deposits within the store, different stores have different offerings. Some is 100%, some is 50%, some is whatever the amount that they have agreed with their customer. Then when the product comes in, we'll be releasing the product from around 17th of this month. So pre-order is a healthy period to engage with our consumer in terms of getting the real feel and how to deliver the product.
And building the excitement for the product.
Exactly.
Over the years, have you seen an increase in the number of pre-order bookings or pre-order sales?
And this way it gets interesting. The premium market is increasing and has been increasing from 2019 very deliberately in a very big scope. You might say, or during the COVID period, that there was a slump. One of the biggest times that we ever did huge sales on the same, or we saw sales surge to unprecedented levels, was during COVID period. It was one of the best periods for the business all across East Africa on the same.
That's when people were buying.
Yes.
The gadgets.
And even after the pent-up period was completed, people had money to spend. And they splashed it on the premium devices. So this, for the past 3 years, we have been seeing an almost 1.3 to 1.5 times growth of demand on premium devices.
Wow.
And this is above $1,000 or 120,000 Kenya shillings demand products.
Sure.
Yes.
What's the after? I mean, it's always good to know what's the after sales support like. I remember that before that you said, okay, so maybe you crack your screen or something, and then you can go back in and get a screen redone if it's within a certain period. So what comes along with that in terms of aftercare support, after sales support rather?
Good. On all Samsung devices across the board, from our A series, the S series, and the foldables, we are giving 24-month warranty on these devices. But in addition to this, there are certain benefits that we give from like A13 all the way up to the foldables and the S23. Each customer is entitled to one free screen repair for any accidental damage. And this was informed by consumer feedback when they indicated that the Samsung repair cost on the screen was high.
It's almost cost of a phone.
Right. And we went back to the drawing board and said, hey, we are confident about the robustness of our screen. The Gorilla screen that we have put on this is robust. So why not show confidence to the consumer and tell them, hey, we'll give you one free screen repair for any accidental damage. That's good enough. Some people never get to break their screens in their lifetime. Others do. So the free screen repair is with the small TNCs of a few hundred shillings for the service onboarding on the same. Correct. So we call this Samsung Care Plus. So I urge all partners or customers who go out there to buy devices of Samsung, ensure to register to Samsung Care Plus so that you get to enjoy this service.
Sure.
You know, one of the things that one finds difficult, one of the things I find difficult is keeping up with the technology. Not that I don't want to, but I am at crossroads. you have this technology, it's working for me, then a new one comes along and you say it's going to work better. And I'm fine with the one I have. And I'm thinking...
You haven't even finished exploring the
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. It does what I want it to do. And yet I'm being told, there's this other one which can do this. And I'm saying, yeah, but what makes you think that's what I want to do? What I have meets my need. So for someone like me who's a bit stuck in time, what is it that I need to understand about the new technology and the new devices so that I can make that transition easier? Because for me, it is very difficult. Yes.
City, I think you're trying to project yourself as this old school guy. But if you're really aware of the smart things approach, I think you're hanging out in the right places on that part. If you're aware of the ecosystem, you're hanging out in the right places. Keep the circles open like that. But as we put it, consumers have these devices, and they want to enjoy new technology. And it's inevitable that technology has to keep changing. It's not going to be static. And it's also inevitable that city will need to get this urge to enjoy the advancement of the technology at some point. If he wants that nice crisp photo, he will go for the next device. So Samsung has looked at it from a point of view of where does city take this device? And this is whereby we have introduced, last year we started a program we call Trade-in. And Trade-in allows you to take back some of these gadgets that you have been using and not feel so obligated to hold it back on the same. So we have a program of trading in all our Samsung experiential stores. And you walk in, the valuation of the device is done, and you're given a discount on your next upgrade device on the same. So it's a practical approach, and it's an activity that is ongoing. And it's also enhanced towards a bit of e-waste management and not being able to keep so many chunks outside there, but bringing them into the fold.
There are things that happens with phones is what you can do with it. So there are people, like you said, there are people who use a phone in addition to calling and texting and emails and all. They use it for content creation. There are those that use these gadgets for gaming. Now, is there anything different that's been done or any technological advancements for gamers who want to think about this as a tool for gaming?
Good stuff. On the S22, we started off with the advancement of the processor. Gaming has to do with a lot of speeds, vivid colors, pixel level. And for this new device, it's using the fastest processor on all the Galaxy family. It's a Snapdragon 8 version 2. By that,
Snapdragon 8 version 2.
Correct.
Right.
And this is one of the fastest processors. It's able to, gaming has a lot of heating of the phone because of all the activities that are being carried off simultaneously at the same time. The process of this is able to manage all that on the same. And the speeds, the size of the screen really allows that to take effect on the same. So in addition to this, what we have done is we have onboarded 2 influencers who are gamers. And their part will be to demonstrate to our consumers how they can be able to use this device on the gaming scope on that. So from next week, there will be an engagement on that, and we'll be announcing that on the same. So would really like consumers to really understand what they can do on this particular device. It's not just calling. As you rightly called it out, gaming is one of the biggest benefits of this device.
Battery?
Fantastic. 5,000 milliamperes on the same. That's roughly, if I put it in a layman's language, for all across the board, these devices have been enhanced to last maybe 34% longer than the previous version model.
34%. See, City?
Now you understand? In the term, 3 days. Meaning you charge full. You carry on.
You chill.
Day.
Right.
You chill and relax.
Yes, exactly.
There's been this conversation about standardizing chargers,
Right.
and the charging ports.
Correct.
What's Samsung doing about that?
Oh, Samsung is already on board on this. And this is a lot to do with more of e-waste management. And yes, look at it this way. We agree. Globally, everybody has a different charger somewhere, a wire here, a wire there. In no time, wires will be the norm. Because some of them are and you keep losing these chargers every other time.
Yeah.
So the standardization of this is to allow multi-use of the same charger. Almost all our devices now, we are not changing, we are using the C-type charger. And if you see from
So
our
Type C on both ends?
Type C on both ends,
Okay.
correct. And if you check again from our flagship devices, we are not putting the cables in on the same, the charger inside. And this is more to do with use the existing charger that you have at home because it can pick up the same functionality for the same. So why do you keep churning out
Keep
all
selling
this?
a new charger with every new phone.
With every new phone, yet you have 2 more chargers, 3 more chargers at home. So it's a way of a reduction on the same. And multiple brands have picked this up,
Yeah.
and they're adapting to that. Right.
So talking about waste, now that you brought up about waste, these gadgets, over time, you find that you have several gadgets lying around at home. What is Samsung doing, in terms of just collection and management of electronic waste?
Okay, good question, Eric. And we have around 27 service centers countrywide. Okay, and within these service centers, we have already started. That was in the 4th quarter of last year, to collect e-waste from these centers. So you can walk in and put them in, and then we'll have they're recycled and into different forms of the same. We have partnered with a couple of e-waste companies that collect this and help in the reduction of this from the market. And in addition to this, I know there's a concerted plan from our PR division to actually expand this to include some of our Samsung experiential stores, SESs. And it's a plan in the progress, and I think it could be announced at a different date, what more steps they intend to keep on that. But more so, to just clarify a bit more, the cover for the S23, the box cover, 100% made from fish recycled nets on the same from the Indian Ocean. And this is a very deliberate effort to try to be part of the reduction of the net emissions in the globe. This device, compared to the S22 had 6 components that were recycled. Now this has 12 devices.
12 components.
12 components that are within that have been used recycled material, including the screen and the back cover that has been used on recycled PET material. So yes, Samsung is at the forefront in terms of keeping this sustained from the plan that we set up in 2022 September to actually go with it with at least to have net emission reduction by 2030, 2050 on the same.
Yeah. I want to jump on something that you said previously, just get a bit more clarity in terms of connectivity between gadgets, and then how you can essentially, connect your life on the go with your phone, the watch, the buds, all these other things. But we're essentially saying that what you're doing on one gadget in the series allows you to then live through the other experiences on the others. And how has Samsung designed that so that you can be using your phone, but at the same time it allows you to connect through the other parts of your life with the other gadgets, the watch,
Correct.
the buds.
I don't want to hit on city again.
No, it's okay, please. We do it all the time.
I'll just keep to the discussion.
I am willing and ready to be used as an example. So please proceed.
Good. So when City decides to have this Samsung device, and he has his Galaxy Watch, right? And he has his buds. So when he decides to take a run or doing his exercise, the watch helps to guide him on his heartbeat rate, his exercise speeds and all that. He's maybe listening to some nice lingala
Yep.
on the buds on the same, or while at the same time he's talking maybe to Eric or Ndu on a different matter for that, while he's still doing his exercise. He is getting connected to, he's connected online. He's in this nice, he has this nice refrigerator that's an online refrigerator. And as he's doing his exercise outside the house and running, he decides to flip out his phone to check, do I have
Juice.
juice for after my run?
In the fridge.
Yes. Checks it, sees, oops, kamekunywa kameisha. I'll drop by the supermarket, buy my stuff, and get home with it on the same. Then I get home and I sit back and I get a download of a good movie on my phone or some content or something. Then I mirror it to my 75-inch TV and
Carved.
get to enjoy the full visibility of the same. So yes, all those factors I've mentioned are practical life scenarios. It happens. It's going to happen in a bigger way, and it's going to grow even bigger than we all think.
Can I, if my phone got stolen and it has, access to some sensitive material, can I remotely, first of all, track it, or two, remotely delete it?
Yeah,
Delete the content.
absolutely. I've a couple of times either left my phone when on a business trip somewhere in the neighboring country or something.
Yep.
And it's very easy to actually, because my phone is normally online on the same. I've enrolled on the Samsung platform on the same, so I'm able to access or track my phone online where it is, even from my laptop. I can be able to see the location. And a couple of times I had to call the hotel and tell them, hey, I left my phone on this, and they'll get it and you'll get it back.
I can see
on
it.
the same.
It's in the room.
You can track it and get it back.
Right.
And nowadays, people are not stealing phones. Before, phones used to be very easy to steal because all you needed to do was to remove the battery, and the phone goes off. Nowadays, the batteries are sealed in, so the phone is on. If you have a good battery like a Samsung phone, then it stays on for quite a
Stays
bit
on.
of time, and you have sufficient time to track it.
What if I left my phone unlocked? Can I lock it remotely?
Oh yes, you can.
This is now high blood pressure.
Asking for a friend.
Well, you're asking for a friend. Do you mean he left it at home or he left it somewhere else?
Either way, it's unlocked. This is the thing.
All right. Actually, you can be able to do all that functionality. You can remotely access your device and actually be able to do that on the same.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So once again, the phone is available on pre-order between yesterday and the 28th of this month.
Right.
All you need to do is walk into a Samsung authorized dealer or Samsung store. Can you also walk into Safaricom, or Safaricom
sure.
wait until
You can walk into Safaricom on the same.
on the same?
Correct.
And it's also possible now to actually go into post-pay mode. Samsung has partnered with Safaricom for the same for these particular gadgets: the Samsung Galaxy S23, the Ultra, the Plus, and the Base. Possible to go pay a deposit today, and you clear within whether 12 months, 18 months, or 24 months.
Right.
Always a pleasure having you, Charles. Asante sana. Asante. Next time, come before we launch the next one. So let's talk about the uptick of this and everything else that's happening.
Right.
Charles Kimari is the Director of Mobile Experience Division at Samsung Electronics East Africa. Keep it here for more conversations.